Ad Orientem, celebrating with your back to the people, as you said. I would love to see that more. I mean, there may have been a glimmer of hope in Pope Francis's motu proprio that suppressed the Latin Mass, and that he acknowledged the silliness that kind of resulted from a lack of oversight in the Novus Ordo. So presumably your bishop, because I know priests who would love to do that, but it's like, what? I don't know if I want to die on this hill. I don't want to do it and then get slapped down.
It's part of the Novus Ordo.
Yes.
3 times in the Missal that's from Vatican II, in English, it says, now turn and face the people.
Yeah.
So I'm merely doing the actual rubrics that come in it.
But aren't you, have you been afraid? I mean, I don't want to ask you to talk about your bishop, but let's talk about it generically, right? So, but I can see why a priest would fear that. They're like, okay, if I do this, I could get censured or at least corrected because I'm kind of standing out, or I'm given the impression that I think I'm holier than thou, or I'm...
It's quite the opposite.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. But what
I was experiencing with celebrating the Mass, the way most people are, is at some point I'm like, why am I the only person in here with my back to God?
Yeah,
I am the ministerial representative. I've got my back to Him through the whole Mass. Why is that? And so I had 6 friends who were doing Ad Orientem, and I said, well, 6 is not the ideal number. If there were 7, it would be better.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to, you know what had happened? There's a Mass in honor of Our Lady that you pray during Advent. What is it called? I forget what it's called, but that has it's all by candlelight. It's before sunrise, and it's Ad Orientem. Okay. So I said, well, we're going to do this. Somebody asked for it. I said, we're going to do it. It's not mandatory. So it's a Saturday. And it's at 5:45 in the morning. So I wasn't expecting a lot of people to come, but for the people who wanted, we'll do it. Well, the church was mobbed. Everybody, they loved it. They all came. I
took it literally.
Not bad, no.
And I wasn't there to see what was going on, so it was terrible. Yeah, people showed up.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
And so they said, well, we just didn't understand the whole with your back to us thing. So I said, no, I can explain it. So I put out a bulletin. In the bulletin, I explained why it's done and what it means. And it's you know what it means. It's the prayers are going through the priest to Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus
you're
to the
leading
Father.
the army.
So we're all going, yes, we're going in the same direction. We're all going in the same direction. The other great thing about it is any risk of being performative is gone because I'm just staring at the crucifix. Isn't that nice? Yes.
It's nice for you. It's also nice for me. I don't need you to be funny. Please don't. Just do your job.
100%. And my focus is more on where it should be.
Yeah.
So I have my bishop is a canon lawyer, and he lives and dies by the canons. If it's canonically okay, he won't give you a problem.
That's lovely.
And you know what? That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it really should.
We're not doing anything devilish or irreverent or bad.
No.
It's just...
I would suspect that certain people just feel threatened by that. It's the same reason certain priests, I think, feel threatened by other priests who wear the cassock. Like, well, they just want to wear the cassock. And it's a beautiful thing. I think it looks very masculine and good, and it's a beautiful sign of the priesthood. Let them do it. But I think there's this, who do you think you are in the...
No, I actually don't mind the cassock. From my life, cassock is... I get hooked on doorknobs with those 2 things in the back. I have ripped my arm on things, the dog pulling at the bottom of it. It's like, I'll wear it on a feast day. But then it's like...
The point.
I know what you're saying.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here and ask, what would your advice be to the priest watching who's like, I would love to celebrate Ad Orientem?
Well, the first step is educating the parish, because you can't just do that without them knowing what's happening, because they'll be like, what are you doing? You don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So the first thing would be you can introduce the history of the church and how things have come from, where they came, what they were about, why things were done the way they were, and what is legally allowed today, because that is another part of the equation. It's perfectly legitimate. In fact, it's written that way in the rubrics.
Be sure to download Truthfully. Truthfully is like ChatGPT, went to OCIA, got baptized, and now is on a mission to evangelize the world. Check it out, truthfully.ai.
That's an education, right? But the next step is you may want to ask your bishop, may I have your blessing to do this? Because I feel like that's where the Lord is leading me. And I feel like it would make the Mass more reverent. And since we're just coming off this 3 years of devotion to the Eucharist, I feel like this could be a way to go deeper with the reverence and the meaning that happens at the Mass. And that's kind of up to you.
Yeah.
Certainly in your private Masses, you can do it with no permission allowed. You don't need permission to do that. I had Mass this morning in the hotel room because that's all I can do.
Yeah.
That's how it was celebrated. And, it's funny because I was in Assisi a few years ago for my retreat. I was vesting one of my friends who was being ordained at St. Peter's. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to be over there already. Let's tack on a retreat. There's a million places you can go that would be better than Tennessee. So Assisi is like the ideal
beautiful.
place to
Just
go.
there last year.
Oh my gosh, it's spectacular. And but what do you know? My bishop decided he would go there that week too. And I'm like, what are the odds? And of course the invite came, hey, do you want to celebrate Mass together? We can go to this church. Of course, I'll be there. But of course, it's Italy. So a lot of the churches don't have freestanding altars. They're all back altars. So I, with my bishop, celebrated Mass at Orientem, and it was perfectly normal.
Yeah.
And nobody thought twice about it. Like, it's not as big a freak out as people make it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I agree completely. I also think there's a lot of priests who may not have a great relationship with their bishop, and they're just trying to navigate things without upsetting everything, upsetting the cart, and then getting sent, Anyway.
Love your people.
Yeah.
If your people feel loved, they'll love you back, and you can lead them easier to the heart of Jesus, and then everybody will be happy.
Thanks very much for watching that clip. You can click the link below if you want to watch the full interview, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.